My thing got deleted. I don't know how, but I'm gonna redo this. First rumor of the day is basically because Roman's out, whatever Ronda is doing is going to possibly be the main event for WrestleMania 35, and that's very believable. I understand why they might do that. Um, Everyone knows that I'm a big person and paying your dues and all that stuff, but since Ronda isn't gonna be around much longer, um, they could easily just use her in this spot, and then next year, um, they could give that spot to someone else, or they could give that spot to two other full-time women. So I'm okay with it, especially if they deliver. Everyone was so pissed off about the card that I don't even think the women really cared like that. The women just felt like, we're given this chance, we need to deliver, because there's no guarantee that we'll have another one. And I feel like that's the mindset of doing something like this. There's no guarantee that this will ever happen again. So no matter what the fuck the match is, you need to deliver. And that's how I feel. The second rumor is basically because Alexa Bliss is not wrestling much because she's got 2 concussions in a month by Ronda, and I think Ronda hurt her arm, that she's missed out on 2 pay-per-views, that she will be put into a authority figure role, which I can see that. I can see that, it worked out really well for Paige, it works out well for Baron Corbin. Authority figures still wrestle. They still wrestle, they just have more power, basically. But Alexa Bliss has been ring announcing at house shows, in the house shows that she was scheduled to wrestle in. So remember when I said that Nikki is scheduled to team up with Alexa Bliss and Mickey? Now that turned into Nikki versus Natalya, with Alexa Bliss and Mickey in Nikki's corner, and Alexa Bliss announcing Nikki's matches. So excuse me, very believable. I could see it, and I think it'd be good for her career, and her character. Now on to the comments. I'm still hoping for women's tag titles. There are rumors that Trish and Lita are going to be the inaugural. As I said before, my dream WrestleMania match for women's tag titles is at WrestleMania, Trish and Lita, Bellas, Iconics, and Sasha and Bayley. Any one of those 4 could win it, and I would be okay with it. But as I said before the Bellas retire, they need to win those titles. Point blank, period. I don't care. The teams right now are Trish and Lita, the Riot Squad Absolution, who might be in a feud, I do not know yet. Sasha and Bayley, Naomi and Asuka, the Iconics, the Bellas, and Ember, and Nia and Tamina now, who could be the AOP of the women's tag division. I definitely do see that. As I said before, I feel like the 2 women's tag titles could work if they're not brand exclusive, if they can be on both Raw and SmackDown. And I feel like it could work like that. So, you guys like my mug? So cute. So yeah, I feel like they could work, and they could definitely build up some women, and they could easily bring up multiple women like Aaliyah, Lacey Evans, people that kind of like a Carmella and Alexa, were like, they had good storylines in NXT, they had good matches in NXT, but they never really got to reach the height that the 4 Horsemen did in NXT. They reached that when they came up to the main roster. So if they could do that with someone like Aaliyah, Lacey, and some of these other girls, then bring them on up. And then someone said, I'd agree if it was about giving the women entitled respect, but but WWE wouldn't even consider putting the women in the main event if it wasn't for Rousey in the picture, and all they care about is propping her up for the mainstream attention. And someone else said, well, yes, that's probably why they put the title back on Brock too, and why AJ is keeping his title for now. Most of their decisions are about business, not creative. And why does it matter if it's mostly about Ronda? Ronda has been pretty good so far, and she's the safest bet here. And if her main eventing is a success, then WWE will consider women in the main event more seriously in the future. So the way I see it is good for everyone. And I totally agree. Totally agree. Like I said, people were complaining about Nikki versus Ronda so much, and I'm like, here's what you guys don't seem to understand. They put two mainstream people against each other. They built a storyline about the fact that Ronda is this new girl that's supposed to represent the revolution, and Nikki and Brie are the horrible divas that ruin the revolution. Yet, in the middle of the storyline, it switched. And they put in a match where it proved that Ronda did not beat Nikki easily. She basically underestimated her. She thought that, oh, because you're a diva, you suck. Like, no. And that match was amazing. It got the crowd engaged. It kept the crowd engaged. The crowd didn't shit on it, not nothing. That was a perfect main event for Evolution. When you think about where Nikki was from the start of her career until now, that is the definition of evolution. You think about where Ronda came in UFC to where she is now. Evolution. Okay? And because they delivered, WWE can, not just them, but the pay-per-view as a whole, they can say, okay, this can be an annual thing. It's the same thing with the main event. If you prove that you can do well in this spot, then we can give other women that we feel like will do well in that spot that shine and an opportunity. And if they do well, we'll give more women shine and opportunity. Like, people were complaining about the card, but I don't think the women gave a fuck about the card. I think the women just felt like we need to deliver. Because Charlotte and Nikki even said it. There's no guarantee that we are going to have this again. So no matter what the fuck the card is, we need to deliver on all cylinders. And they did that. People legit called this one of the best pay-per-views of the year. And it's definitely in my top 3 for sure. So, in all honesty, if Ronda being the first one's main event against someone, I don't care who it is, and they do well, leads into more women in the future being given that spot, then by all means do it. By all means do it. Especially since we know Ronda Rousey most likely isn't going to be here for much longer because she wants to start a family. And we know that she's likely going to lose at WrestleMania anyway. So, like, as much as I, am annoyed by it in a sense, I also understand it, and I'm also putting away my bias and my dislike for her, and I'm thinking about business. And business-wise, just like Nikki versus Ronda, it's a great decision. And just like Nikki versus Ronda, I'm sure it'll deliver promo, match, and feud-wise. And mainstream attention-wise. So, yeah. And then this is about Becky. Someone said, after watching her match last night, I feel like part of what's hindering her in-ring work for me, what's hindering her is her in-ring work. She is technically gifted and probably one of the best trained women on the roster, but all the charisma and attitude that she conveys so well in her promos is lost as soon as she starts competing. Her wrestling works against her character change and the massive push she's getting because it's basically the same Becky match we've been getting since 2015. Maybe even watered down a bit so we know she's a heel. Granted, I typically don't mind this given my other tastes, but Becky doesn't feel exciting when she's not talking, which is a big problem. Even someone like Alexa Bliss creates a conversation when she steps in the ring, whether good or bad. Becky doesn't excite in the ring anymore, and that's where she's beginning to stagnate for me. A top girl has to get people talking, and I can't really think of a impressive Becky match other than the Evolution one. But we could argue that Charlotte's willingness to deliver in big matches gave it that feeling, which I definitely agree with. She'll always have a legacy because she's a four horsewoman, but I'm not sure how her individual success will add up. Definitely agree. This is not to bash Becky. This is not to anything like that. But I agree. The thing that hindered me for AJ, amongst a whole bunch of other shit, is that people were propping her up to be this best in the world and blah blah blah, and everyone else was just garbage. Yet when I looked at her matches compared to everyone else, I was bored out of my fucking mind. I was bored. I felt like she wasn't doing anything. I felt like her opponents did all the work. And I felt like she was the one hindering the division, not everyone else. Because when your character is you're the best in the world and you're carrying the division on your back, yet your in-ring work is worse than fucking Eva Marie, that is an issue. That's an issue. That is horrible. Like, there's no way that your character should be like that and your mic work should be like that, yet your in-ring work isn't backing it up. When Nikki was given the top spot, she brought it in her character, her in work, and her mic work. I don't give a fuck what people say. People can never say that when Nikki was given a shot. When people can never say that from Hell in a Cell. People can never say from SummerSlam 2013 till Hell in a Cell. No, SummerSlam. No, oh my God, I'm done. From SummerSlam 2014 till Hell in a Cell 2015, that Nikki did not step up her character, her mic work, and her in-ring work 1,000%. No one can say that, not even her fucking haters. Her haters always cling to everything but her in-ring work, but her character work, but her promos. Because they knew that she was better than the people that they love to overpraise. Even Sasha Banks, someone that I do not particularly like, I could say that I saw why people were clamoring for her so much. I saw why people were into her, why people, you know what I'm saying, wanted her to be given everything. I could see that. Even Bayley. And I can't stand Bayley. I feel like she's annoying as all hell. But even I can understand where she's coming from, what she's doing. And I don't want to hear the, oh, she's a heel thing. No, fuck out of here. Because when Nikki was a heel, she was still putting on great matches. She had great long matches where you never felt like you were watching the same match. Ever. As many matches as her and Paige had, I never felt like I was watching the same match. Ever. And she had consistently great matches with every fucking body. I don't feel that with Becky Lynch. And it comes to a point where people have to stop making excuses and just maybe admit that Becky isn't as good as they think she is. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. This is just my opinion. This is my constructive criticism opinion. I'm not being rude. I'm not calling her out of her name. None of that. But for me, when you're going in all cylinders in your character and your mic work, yet you become a fucking dud in your ring work, that is an issue. Because while characters in wrestling do matter, your in-ring work does matter too. Like when I got on Alexa Bliss and Carmella, I said they weren't bad in the ring. They were just basic, and I felt like they weren't giving their all when they were given opportunities that multiple women on the roster would kill for. And then once they started putting in more effort, putting in more energy, putting in more, what's it called? Lord have mercy. Just putting in more into their matches, I'm like, okay, now I can get into you fully. Because now your character, your mic work, and your in-ring work matches up together. And it works, and I can get into your storylines now. Because now I feel like, okay, I could be annoyed by the character. She can give a good heel promo. And I can see her do good in the ring. I can't feel that with Becky, and that's an issue for me personally. Me. Not saying this for anyone else. And if you get in my comments being disrespectful, I will block your ass. Just saying. But yeah, I don't know. she needs to step up her in-ring work, because there's no way in hell that her in-ring work with her great promos and her great characters should be suplex, leg drop, disarmer. No. That's what made me hate AJ. I don't want that with Becky. I don't. So she really needs to get her in-ring work together, because I'm honestly already starting to become to a point where Becky Lynch I'm not gonna feel anything. And I hate that, especially because y'all know I love the women, but I can't be fake and, turn a blind eye simply because she's an internet darling. If Nikki were to do that shit, I would be pissed off too, and I'll be going off on her, just like I would on AJ, Becky, on anyone. So Nikki is not exempt from that. When Brie wasn't putting in effort and energy, I got on her ass. So I'm equal with everyone. People can never say I'm just so biased towards Bellas. No, the fuck I'm not. When Brie was not putting in effort and dragging her feet and shit, I got on her ass too. And she stepped it up again. So I need her to step it up, because there's multiple women that I feel like would do great in that spot that will deliver in character, mic work, and in-ring work. So that's all I'm going to say regarding Becky Lynch. And this one is the last comment. This one is about Alexa Bliss. Oh man, I really hope the Alexa rumor isn't true. She's too young and entertaining to be forced to retire. And then someone else said, why does everyone think she has to retire to be an authority figure? Angle was GM and still wrestled. Corbin is an authority figure and still wrestles regularly. And the Bliss thing is nothing but fan speculation. But if they want her to keep prominent and not get swept in the wash of, if you aren't in the title picture, you aren't doing anything, the GM role will be perfect for her. Someone else said, why can't it be as simple as she's not cleared and they don't want to risk her yet? And I totally agree. Just because she is doing a authority figure role doesn't mean she is retired. However, considering that she got 2 concussions in 1 month by the same person, Ronda Rousey, her arm got hurt, and she was forced to sit out of 2 pay-per-views, that is a little concerning. And that is a little alarming. And if Alexa Bliss can do well in other roles while they want her to heal, then let her do that. That doesn't mean that she's retiring. If anything, that gives her more career opportunities after she wants to retire. So I'm not concerned. And might I add that Alexa Bliss has been ring announcing at house shows. The house shows that she was supposed to wrestle in with Nikki and Mickey have become Nikki versus Natalya, with Mickey and Alexa in a corner, and and Alexa announcing Nikki and Natty's matches. And they've been fucking hilarious together. I love those two together. They've been awesome. So if this is something that Alexa wants to do and the company thinks that she will be good in, let her do that. That adds more intrigue and that adds more development to her character. And might I add, like I said, multiple GMs or authority figures have wrestled. Stephanie and Triple H, Vicky Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin, Shane, Daniel, all of them. So I don't think it's going to be the end of Alexa Bliss's career per se. I just feel like it'll add another layer onto her career, and a great one at that. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm about to eat some breakfast, take a shower, and then chill out until my mom calls me, because we're thinking about going to a movie, but I'm not sure if we are yet. So I will see you guys later. Bye.